So this month of February was Black History Month, and I thought I'd share with you today 3 great books by African American authors that really transformed the game. The first is the poetry of Langston Hughes, who was a major poet of the Harlem Renaissance. And there are a number of poems that he wrote that are amazing, but if I had to choose one, I would maybe pick the poem Harlem, where he makes it's a very short poem, and he makes a certain number of allegories in terms of the segregation that he experienced in the days of Jim Crow, and those allegories are super powerful and were then used to inspire other people like Martin Luther King in his speeches and so on. The second book I would recommend is Another Country by James Baldwin. This was published in 1962, and he was a transformational author who really broke through a lot of taboos in terms of race and sexuality. Another Country is a very jazzy book that takes place in the West Village of New York. It opens with a drummer who works in the West Village, but then the novel morphs into an examination of a lot of different affairs across sexual orientations and how all this kind of hodgepodge of relationships interacts in the spirit of New York West Village in those days. And then the third book I would mention is The Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler. She's a major science fiction writer. This book was published in 1993. And essentially here she invented that kind of post-apocalyptic LA hellscape, which is heavily impacted by climate change and inequality. So she was really quite prophetic in anticipating those developments in our society. And she paints a really bleak picture of that landscape and of a band of survivors who need to connect to other groups in order to ensure their own survival. Those are 3 great books by African American authors.